Hey, Whippersnaps, this is Tortimer the Grey. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Minecraft from the TimeShot server. Today, we are going to be doing some work out here in the desert base. We're moving out of spawn a little bit. We're not moving out of spawn. I still have some work to do at spawn with our house and stuff. I think the exterior is more or less done, but, you know, we've got some interior stuff to do and things like that. But I was kind of holding off on moving out here. We'd kind of claimed our spot pretty early on. Episode 3 or something, I think. But I didn't really want to make too much progress. We had a lot of stuff to do at spawn, and we were making a ton of progress. If you guys have seen the first world download, or the overviewer map from the first world download, well, for all intents and purposes, we took a download from the very beginning, or we did a download of the blank world so that people could see the progress that we made throughout the world. But we made a ton of progress. Like, spawn is basically almost fully developed and stuff, all within that first 2-month period between the start of the world and then the first world download. And I didn't want to make too much progress. Like, I was raring to go. I knew what I wanted to do out here and things, but I wanted to wait, let that first download come up, and then I figured we could come back out and work on some stuff after the fact. So that's what we've been doing, and I've been tinkering out here a little bit, working on... Excuse me, I'm about to cough. Hold on, I do have a glass of water here. That's exciting. 1 second. Okay, working on our new donator haul. You guys, for those of you guys who have been with my channel for a while, you'll probably recognize what is happening out here. This new donator haul is going to be a bit of a throwback to one of my older series, the Decimon series, in which and this was actually my first time coming into contact with a number of the TimeShotters, now that I think about it. And it was where I met JC, one of my good friends on YouTube now, and things like that. But the Decimon server was a Pixelmon server. It was the first survival Pixelmon series I did on my channel, and played with people on there like April. Wynn was on there for a short time. And lots of other people. I think that might have been... I can't remember now if Anasia was on that one or not. I've done 2 or 3 different Pixelmon servers and you know, a handful of different series on there since that point. But that's where I first came in contact with kind of the TimeShot oriented community, and I know for a fact that April was on that server. But one of the things that I did on that server was we all made gyms and raised Pokemon teams and things like that, and I decided to become a ground gym leader, and I built a Dugtrio gym out in the desert. And so I was a ground gym leader, and I built a giant Dugtrio gym, very similar to what we're seeing here. I'm making some adjustments and things like that, but I figured, you know what, I wanted to do a desert kind of area, and wait, what is this? Hold on. I'm jumping over this, but Edson's Enchantment Stall now open. Doing some advertising. He told me he was doing some advertising the other day. Let's see. Pumpkin pies. Ooh, and a mending book. All right. All right. I will take it. Thank you very much, sir. I will just leave that there for now, actually. But yeah, so I figured, you know what? I wanted to do a desert area because that's something I hadn't done in a little while. And it was something that I figured would be unique among what other people were doing. Nobody, like, on last season really did much in the desert. We didn't have a ton of desert. And then it ended up this world... ended up being like almost half desert, and so there's a lot of stuff going on in deserts now. MK over there is building in a desert and things like that, but I had kind of been planning to do it for a long time, so I figured, well, even though she kind of picked up the idea and was running with it, I was going to do it too, and so we're gonna both have desert places. But that gives me the opportunity to put together some fun things, and one of the first things I'm putting together out here is the new donator haul, and I'm modeling it, as I said, after that original gym, and so I'm making some modifications, although for the most part it's going to be pretty similar. I'm going to have some color in here and stuff too, and it's going to end up looking different, mainly just because in that series I used a totally different texture pack, so some of those things are going to be a little bit different. But yeah, so I went ahead and I got this one set up. Over here, I haven't really done anything with you guys out here since we came out and claimed it. But over here, I set up a little while ago. You've probably heard me mention this a couple times, but I do have, in this Diglett head, I kind of strategically placed this when I built it. But inside this Diglett head, we have got our auto fishing farm, and so this is where I've been collecting all of the fish for the JFC, the Just Fish and Chips, and all of our name tags and stuff. And since I think I've collected, no, I don't have an ender chest. Oh, well. Do I have an ender chest? I might down here in our storage area, maybe? No, I haven't put one down yet. But I got a little map of the area so you guys can see this is our desert island, and this is kind of where our donator hall and area is going to be. So essentially, like this in these different heads, like on the Decimon server, I like lived in one of the heads and things like that, which we may do for the time being. There's going to be a lot of other stuff getting built out now. Doesn't even encompass our whole base. The river continues, so I really could get another row of these in here. The river continues out a little bit and things like that. But we're going to build like a little oasis around this puddle that's in the middle of our island. And we just kind of have a claim of this entire desert area that's surrounded by these rivers here. So a lot of things we're going to be doing. And this is just the start of it. I wanted to make this the start of it because, one, I knew exactly what I wanted to do for it. That Decimon series was probably one of my favorite series I've done on YouTube, and I have really fond memories of all of that. And I figured if I was doing a desert place, this would be kind of a fun, unique thing, not I guess unique to me, thing that we could do and be a nice callback, especially for those, you know, a lot of my donators and Patreons and things like that are people who harken back to the days of my series, or my channel, rather, being a Pokemon channel, and so I figured it'd be a nice way to combine things back in. But essentially, on that server, my gym was underground because I was the ground leader. So we come into this head. I've got it open up here. The mouth is wide open there. Originally, this was inspired by the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin. When I started thinking about how I wanted to do a ground gym, I wanted to do something Cave of Wonders inspired, which was the big sand lion head that he went into at the beginning of that movie. And then I ended up with this idea, which I've kind of really fallen in love with. And so yeah, we come in here, and we go into the big wide open mouth, and then we're gonna go underground, and so I've started laying in just the basics for that. And we got a lot of detailing and stuff obviously to do, but I wanted to get going on it initially so you guys could see what we were doing, and so we didn't have to spend the entire episode just doing building stuff. But in fact, let's run over and sleep again real quick. This is a pretty big little continent that we've claimed, and I haven't had enough torches to light it up yet. Like every time I come out here, and I'll have, you know, I've done some terraforming around here, so some of this still isn't lit up even up here. But, you know, we've got whole dark areas still out over here and things like that. Because, like, I've used probably a dozen stacks of torches already. Like, every time I come out here, I'll bring at least, like, one new stack to use. Yeah, it's a big place. So I've got a lot of work still to do in that respect. So it's not totally safe. So let's go ahead and sleep so that we can make sure that we don't get killed during the process here. All right, we've got sand on us right now because I was doing terraforming, but let's go grab some sandstone, and we'll work on getting maybe the center head done. But the goal will be we're going to build our donator hall underground, and we're going to use the same basic style that we used last season in our donator hall. I really kind of liked that idea. The sheep thing, you know, the mascot of my channel has always kind of been Fluffy the sheep ever since I did my first Minecraft single player thing ages ago. And so Fluffy the sheep, we last season had gone ahead and every donator got a sheep that we would name tag, and all of that. We may change things up a little bit this season because I'm kind of thinking that we might do a little bit different style. So like last season we had the different levels, so we had like patrons were on the main level, then we had one-time donators on the second level, and then up on like the top were stream donators. And so we're not going to probably do, you know, I've still got all that information, so everybody who donated previously is still going to have a sheep in here, and I probably will still break it up, Patreons for sure, and not stream donators, but one-time donators, or at least, you know, people who make occasional donations, because several people have donated a couple of times, but they're not recurring payments sort of thing. All right, let's actually, this is the sandstone one. Let's drop the sand off in here. Okay, and get the sandstone going here, and we'll grab the stairs as well. In fact, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, and grab this lime wall as well. All right, so what we're gonna do is I need to go one block. Okay, I think I've got it. Gotta get on top of this thing. There we go. Path of least resistance. Up this way. I used this green wool initially to mark the circles out before I started building to kind of get the placement I wanted right, and then I've still got these in here. I actually kind of like the brighter green better. That like this is lime clay, because I want to use clay as opposed to wool. I actually like the brighter color. Wool is too fragile for the purposes of using in builds. I just philosophically don't want to do that, but we may, because I do want to set up a village out here too. Everybody seems to be doing villages this season, but I do want to set up a village out here as well. So we may be able to get some emeralds together. Maybe that'll be a more solid block that we can potentially use. Ooh, I don't have any. Used up all my torches. That's all right. Normally I would put a torch right there. But okay, so we are one level up from the nose, which means we're going to start the eyes here. So we'll go ahead and do this. Okay. Should work out. And then directly above the eyes, so on this level here, get it right? Yes. Get the eyebrows. I think this gives them kind of a Dugtrios. It's first of all, it's a Pokemon, and second of all, they have kind of a stern look to them. Diglets are kind of happy. Dugtrios are kind of angry looking, and I think it kind of also gives it like a nice, like it makes it look more like an ancient kind of sculpture sort of thing, which I kind of like the idea of. Okay, so we'll go ahead. We actually need to do that and that. And we'll get these going here. But yeah, so one of the ways I try to thank you guys for doing donations is by putting everybody who donates, whether one time or on a recurring basis via Patreon, they get a sheep in my donator hall. And so that's what we did last season. And then with the reset, obviously that went away. But I think it's been enough time here that we can. I'm comfortable with moving out of spawn, doing some work outside, and I wanted this to be the first thing because really that is one of the ways that I say thank you, and I'm super grateful for everybody who chooses to support the channel, and I wanted, that's one of those rewards, so I want to make sure I get that up and running so that people, feel like if that's something that they're interested in, then that will be there for them. And all of that. So yeah, putting that out there, and as always, if you guys are interested in supporting the channel monetarily, now obviously monetary support is great. I love monetary support, but there are many ways to support the channel, because I know not everybody can support monetarily, which is totally understandable. People have got their own lives and their own issues and things like that, and I support a couple of my friends, J Seed and Mara. I think I'm patrons of them. I think I'm a patron of Aaron Cerise, and things like that. But I don't have a ton of money to throw around like that either. I'm kind of in the same position as all these people, but those are some of my friends who I really like and support, and I wanted to make sure that they knew that, so I went ahead and did that sort of thing. But I know not everybody can do that. But so support is when I say thank you for supporting the channel. That's not just for monetary stuff. Liking, watching, commenting, sharing, all those kinds of things are extremely important to the life of the channel. Every like and comment helps us get higher up in the search results so that people will see us and things like that. Okay, so at this stage we need to go in, and so I just want to make that clear. I'm not trying to pressure anybody to do anything they're not interested in doing, but for those who do choose to take that extra step and do a monetary donation, we are setting this up to thank all of them, and especially for those who already have. I want to get they donated with the understanding that they would have a monument in a donator hall, so that's what we're doing. We want to make sure that we are honoring those who have chosen to make that sacrifice. But yeah, I think it'll be fun. But basically, so we had the different levels in the last donator hall, just based on the way we constructed that. It was more of a vertical thing. Now we're going to be digging underground for this one, and I think like I said, we're still using the sheep. I still have to decide how we're going to break everything up. In the last world, I let everyone kind of decide the color of their own personal sheep, which I liked doing, but allowing people to do that. But realistically, like during streams and stuff, sometimes I get donations and I don't necessarily know who they're from. Like I have a name attached to it, but like they may not be a regular commenter of mine or something. So it's hard for me to like not everybody when they donate, in fact, nobody when they donate has ever been like, okay, here's my donation, I would like a blue sheep or something. So then I have to go track those people down, and there's several people, like there was a guy, Pedro Mato, I think was the name, and he donated originally during my my stream campaign when I did a fundraising stream beginning of this year, and as part of that, he donated, which I was very appreciative of, but he didn't specify a sheep color, and I had no idea how to get a hold of him. So that was a bit of an issue. So I don't think he ever got a sheep color. So and at that time we had kind of broken the donator hall. So while we had the vertical levels, we had like, you know, patrons on the bottom level, one-time donators or non-recurring donators up top. And then, you know, people who contributed to that specific stream above them. We also had them broken up kind of into quadrants, so that, you know, it was, you know, we had it broken up into quadrants per level. So we could break up, okay, so these people donated a certain number, and these people over here donated a certain number, things like that. I don't know, as I'm currently envisioning this right now, I'm not envisioning the quadrant thing. You know, we'll have a special field of sheep for patrons and a special field of sheep for other kinds of donators. But okay, so we've gone in twice now, so we actually need to do level of slabs here. You know, we'll have those separate fields, but what am I trying to say? The color thing was sometimes a kind of a headache to kind of chase down, and you know, we may be better served to be like, all right, so, you know, patrons, you know, will be in this field, and if they have a orange sheep, they donated, you know, $1 a month, and if they, you know, so sort of breaking that up so that those sorts of things are identifiable in that way, as opposed to, you know, like pretty much how everybody else does their donator halls. No, I don't think anybody's got a donator hall up and running. I know Poet's been working on his, but I don't think anybody else has theirs up and running on this server yet. I know with the reset and things like that, some people like Fabe and Mara, I think especially, have moved their donator halls or have plans to move their donator halls to their single player world. So I think Mara's going to put it in her Miranda series, and I think Fabe is putting it in his dinosaur mine, sort of thing, because they have control over those single player worlds. Now both of them have had issues with corruption recently, so I don't know if that's even is still a reliable way to do it, but that's the way they've chosen to do it. But I think for me, now my dinosaur series is my most watched, and obviously that would grant me the most control over it, but I trust that we will have, you know, this server will be in place for at least, you know, a year or two, like the last server was, and so I think it'll be worth it to put it here. I feel like, I don't know, and I could be wrong in this, but it used to be, you know, I have all these modded series running, and I feel like eventually that TimeShot might outlive some of these other series, and I don't know, in my mind, you know, vanilla Minecraft might be a little less divisive than some other things, so we might see some people popping in here that maybe don't want to watch the dinosaur thing, but realistically I think more people enjoy the dinosaur stuff than they enjoy the vanilla, so my logic may be wrong there. But either way, it just makes sense to do it here. You know, so many of my fans and followers have come out of the my joining the TimeShot server. A lot of them have joined, you know, I got a lot of growth from doing some of my other modded series before TimeShot, like the dinosaurs and the Minecraft Lord of the Rings and all of that came out of there. But I don't know, it just seems right for it to end up being here, especially because, you know, I made that decision on season 1 because so many people were doing them on the server at that point. And now that's changing a little bit, but I still think that it's probably going to end up being for the best that we keep it here. So that's the goal for now. If we have another reset, you know, within the next 6 months or something, which I shouldn't even say things like that because it's not happening. That's not a thing. Don't start freaking out. We're not resetting anytime soon. But if it did get to the point where TimeShot was all of a sudden resetting like all the time, then I would probably, you know, change that decision, and we might move it to one of my, well, two. So one of my other Minecraft series, but I only have one other Minecraft series at this point, which is Minecraft Jurassic World. And so we might make that decision at a later date. But for now, season 2 of TimeShot is still, we're gonna follow the same formula and do all of this up. Okay, we can't get that, but we'll get that when we get the eyes. So that this is where it's going. So let me know what you guys are thinking. For those of you guys who have donated already, I don't want to. I want this to be an incentive, not an incentive, I guess, because I don't really, like I said, I don't want to pressure anybody to donate, but I want it to be like a nice thank you. So for those of you guys who have donated in the past or would be considering donating in the future or something, you know, do you want to retain control of the color of your sheep? Is that something that's important to you? Do you want to, or does it matter to you if if I decide to color the sheep, like, you know, if we looked at Edson or Poets or whoever's, pretty much anybody else's donator hauls from season 1, they all basically, you know, okay, so if you donate this amount, you get an iron block to represent you, sort of thing. And it would basically be the same kind of idea where, okay, well, instead of an iron block to represent you, you're going to get a, you know, a yellow sheep or whatever colors I decide to use, I guess. But it's kind of the same theory. Now we do need to get light up here so nothing spawns up there. The rest of this should be fine. I need to get more torches because the top of this is going to spawn things and stuff now. So might have to do some more mindless mining here in the future to go get some more resources. But I think that's basically it, guys. So, you know, at present, I'm not thinking that probably we'll have people choosing the color of their sheep. But I'm always open to persuasion, especially because this donator haul thing is entirely for you guys. It's entirely for you guys. So if that's something that's important to you guys, then we will go ahead and do it, and I will figure out how to accommodate things that way. Maybe we don't even need to bother breaking things up. You know, maybe it doesn't matter if somebody's, you know, I almost said only, but if somebody, you know, only, you know, chooses to donate, you know, $1 or whatever, maybe we can just have a big field of patrons, and they can all be mixed together. And we have no need to make that distinction because I am thankful for all donations. So maybe that's a thought. We don't even need to bother with some sort of distinction, but I'll leave that kind of up to you guys because again, this is all just a thank you to you guys and giving you guys a little bit of recognition. You know, anytime we get a donation or a patron or whatever, we will update in the episode so those people will get a little bit of recognition for you know the great support that they're giving and things like that, and as a special thank you. So, you know, again, entirely for you guys. Those are kind of the ideas I've got floating around in my head, and you guys will see. I'll do some more work of this off camera. I'll probably start laying in some of doing some of the underground digging and laying in some of that stuff before the next time we're out here together. But yeah, so feel free to leave those comments in the leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Those are the words we're trying to use. And yeah, I appreciate it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. It was a bit more of just a talky episode. Oh, I also wanted to put out there, guys, and I probably should have mentioned this earlier because most people have tuned out by now. In talking about supporting the channel, as I said before, you know, monetarily is not the only way people can support what we're doing here. One thing, and it's not really a huge, like a support thing necessarily, but one thing I've noticed recently, and you guys may have noticed this as well, is that YouTube has taken it upon themselves again recently to make decisions for subscribers on what content they're going to see. They're not just sending people, you know, notices of the videos that channels they're subscribed to. They're like trying to use special algorithms to determine how engaged you are and things like that. And now recently they've added, you know, I don't know, I say recently, but I don't know when it was added exactly. It's, you know, recently in my mind at least, but they've added this thing, this little bell. If you're on my page or whatever watching the video, probably right next to the word subscribed under the video, there's a little bell. At this point, there are a lot of people who are noticing they're not getting notified about their subscribed channels anymore. YouTube is, for whatever reason, deemed that they're not interested in seeing that content anymore, you know, taking it upon themselves to tell people what they should watch. And so, if you have noticed or you know, are concerned about potentially at some point noticing that you are not seeing the content that you want to see, maybe consider hitting that bell icon next to the subscribe thing on my video. And that will make sure that you are notified if and when I put up a video. So that's just kind of a thing that I wanted to mention at some point. that you know, I haven't noticed anything specific, but the way that I watch videos is different than I think a lot of people watch videos, because I kind of go directly into my subscriptions box and I click on the videos that I want to watch from there. And I haven't noticed that they've done any filtering on that specifically, but if you rely on other means of notification to figure out if one of your favorite channels has put up a video, that little notification icon might be the way that you need to go about figuring that out at this point. You click that little icon, and that should ensure that you find out anytime a video goes up. I haven't noticed really any steep drop-offs in views and stuff like that, so I don't think it's something that's affecting our channel really toughly, because our, you know, generally speaking, if I put out a TimeShot episode, I get about 100 views. Generally speaking, if I put out a dinosaur episode, I'm going to get about 150 views, and pretty much anything else, you know, less than 50, sort of thing. And that's been the same for a little while now, so I don't know that this is something that's affecting us too greatly, but if it's something that you've noticed in the past, that little icon there is there for you guys to do that. That doesn't do anything for me specifically, like I don't get any money from that, like that's not a support thing. But that's just for you guys. If you've noticed that maybe on whether my videos or some of your other favorite content creators, you're not seeing notification of their videos going up, you can click that on those specific channels that you want to make sure that you're staying up to date on. But yeah, guys, so there we go. We're some work on the donator haul is going. I'll finish off this other head, and we'll get some more progress done on this before you guys get out here. Maybe I'll even see if I can't gather some emeralds from some of Edson's villagers or Dave's or something at some point to kind of see what that would potentially look like in here if we decide we want to do emerald blocks, because I feel like it'd probably be this kind of brightness, but just you know, a solid, you know, stone block as opposed to, you know, wool. I just can't bring myself to actually use wool in a formal build. So even though I guess we're putting sheep in here, so maybe that's the way to go. But anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate the continued support that everybody gives to the channel. Leave those likes, leave those comments. Everything helps. And I know the YouTubers say that all the time, but realistically, the like costs you nothing but a split second to click on the like button. And it actually does help us out a great deal in terms of getting recommended on other channels and things like that, and helping other people find us. It is a useful thing that YouTube still uses in their algorithms. So if you'd like to, feel free to let me know. Let me know that you enjoyed the episode by hitting that like button. And yeah, I will see you guys all back here next time. I don't know what next time will be. We'll do some mindless mine. We haven't done one of those in a while. Or I'm sure Edson and I have been talking. We've got maybe a collab in mind coming up here next week or something too. So just give that some thought, and we will see you guys all back here next time. I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. Have a good one.